Good morning, beautiful yogis. We're here in Ventura in Unlock Mission, the Ventura Buddhist Study Center. And this morning, we're going to do some hamstring work, just hamstrings. So for the next few minutes, let's get into the back of our legs and live there. Okay, so take a few long, deep breaths. Just as you are, just as you're sitting, whatever way you're sitting. Start to become aware of that part, back of your legs. This is going to feel so nice. This is going to really help your legs and it's going to help your lower back. We're going to release our hands now and I want you to straight away reach for the front of your mat, place your hands and stretch that right leg back towards the back of the mat. And then release and switch, stretch back into the left leg. And then come to your hands and knees and we're going to turn our toes, lift the knees and slowly lift up and come back to downward facing dog. There they are, the hamstrings right there. And you'll notice that pretty much immediately they'll start talking to you when you stretch your heels towards the floor. Let's bend that right knee and press the left heel down. And just hold it, just feel it. And then release. We're going to bend the left knee towards the front of the mat and press your right heel down. Long, slow, deep breaths there. And then go back to pressing both heels down and wriggle your feet back towards the back of the mat and press the heels down into the ground. If they don't get there, that's good. Keep making it your goal to stretch the heels longer, longer, longer. And then bend your knees. We're going to inhale, look up and step that right foot to the front of the mat. Right foot to the front of the mat. Now, you might have 2 blocks at home. That'd be great. If you don't, you can still do this perfectly well with no blocks. So bring that back knee towards the back of the mat and then press this right heel down. Keep that right heel pressing down into the earth as you kind of lean back and try to straighten this right knee any amount. But this right heel pressing down is the part that's going to get you into the back of your leg. And just drop your head, listen to that hamstring as it complains maybe a little bit. Get your belly on your thigh, turn your fingers towards the back of the mat to get deeper. And then bend that right knee. We're going to come forward, walk that right foot off there to the right edge of the mat. Now your block might be handy. You could put your elbows on it. You could turn the block down and get lower and get deeper and get closer. Take the back knee back an inch. Maybe take the block away altogether and get your elbows on the floor. And then slowly come back up. We'll pull that back knee back towards the front of the mat and just take that right foot behind you. Good. Let's do the other side. Turn the toes, lift your knees up and back, and the hands are pressing down. So feel how long the back of the legs are. Make them longer. What can you do to make them longer? Bend your knees, inhale, look up. We'll step that left foot to the front of the mat. So keep a big space here between this front heel and that back knee. Try not to be in a 90-degree angle in that knee. Drop your hips. Now glue that left heel down as you lift the toes. The left heel's pressing down, your belly's on your thigh, toes are pointing up. We're just leaning back. So you're in total control with all of this. You can go as far into it or as little into it as you want to. Just feel your way in there to that hamstring. Maybe turn your fingers, hands towards the back of the mat. Lean back, press your left heel down. And then bend your knee, come forward. We're walking that left foot over there to the left side of the mat. And here we are on our block, maybe elbows on the block. And you could stay there if you're getting the lovely sensation of that hamstring stretching. Enjoy it. Maybe turn your block down a wee bit. Maybe take the block away altogether. Now, if you're coming all the way down, you might take that back knee back an inch or so, and that's going to give you a little bit of space. The joy in the back of your leg. Who knew? And then come back up. Now pull this back knee forward and sweep that left foot behind you. We're back on our hands and knees, and we're just going to cross our ankles and come back to sit and straighten out your legs. Good. So we'll take our blocks out of the way there. So we're sitting in Dandasana. We're just going to open our legs out wide. Come onto your fingertips and lift your hips and push them towards the front of the mat. Press your legs down. Feel now as though somebody was holding the legs down there. Right hand in front, left hand behind. Lift and twist over your left leg. Lift and twist. Long, deep breaths. So we might be going through these a little fast for the class, but if you were doing this on your own, you could spend lots of time in each one of these, as long as you want. Now hold on to the leg with both hands, and on an exhale, start to slide yourself out over the leg. Maybe pause halfway down to take an inhale, come up out of the pose a little bit, and on the exhale, go deeper. Maybe do that again, inhale, lift, and exhale, go deeper. Now, if this is very difficult, you can always grab your belt. And you could do the very same thing using your belt. Lifting yourself up, walking down the belt, inhale, lift. Exhale, walking down, and just see where you can get to. Just be there. Belly on the thigh, long legs. Now this really gets you to where we want to be this morning. Back of that leg. What does a hamstring look like, I wonder? What does it feel like? If you could reach in there and feel the hamstring, is it very tense? Is it tight? Breath, soften it. And that's the work. And then you put your hands each side of the leg and let yourself slide back up. We'll do the same thing now on the other side. Left hand in front, right hand behind. Lift and twist. So you want to stay nice and tall here. Keep pressing down into the legs. Inhale, lift, exhale, twist, and hold your leg. And you're going to start to move down the leg on the exhale. Pause for an inhale, maybe lift up out of it a little bit, and exhale, go deeper, go longer out over the neck. Inhale, lift, and exhale, reach. And you can do that as many times as you want to, each exhale reaching deeper into the back of that leg. Lift, exhale, reach, until eventually you'll be able to lay down over the leg and drop your head. And then release and slide the hands back up. Now, we can't miss this opportunity. Look at this lovely space. Let's see if we can open the legs wider. Take your hands and just slide the hands out in front. Don't round the back. Lift the heart up. And on the exhales, move deeper. Inhale, lift. And exhale, move deeper. Good. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, go a little deeper, maybe as though you're reaching towards the front of your mat. Now press down into the back of those hamstrings. Maybe you get your elbows on the floor. And then put your head in your hand. Smile. And release. And then slide the hands back up. We'll take the back of the knees at the same time, pull them towards your face and straighten your legs. Okay, so we've woke up the hamstrings. Now let's get them to work. We're going to stand up now and we're going to go to the wall. Good. Now, there's a few ways you could do this. We usually do it laying on the floor, and you all know that if you've been watching these videos. This morning we're going to do these hamstring stretches at the wall. I'm going to take my mat away for a moment. And Siddhar is going to use the chair. So we're going to turn towards the wall and using a belt, can you see me there? Okay? We're going to put the belt around our foot And take your right foot up against the wall. I guess our backs are to you, so we'll do our right foot. So with our right foot up, and you don't want to be too far away from the wall. When you look down, that bottom foot, you want it to be right below your ankle. So this is the first one. Holding onto your belt, stay nice and tall. Now, if I go higher up the wall, my bottom leg will slant, so I'll have to step closer. But I do get a deeper hamstring stretch the higher up I go. So now we're going to transfer that belt into just our left hand, both sides of the belt into the left hand. I'm going to take my right thumb and press down on the top of the femur as though to press that down to the floor, and then I'm going to take this right shoulder out into the room. Turn and look out over, and right shoulder at one spot. And then turn back to the wall. We're still on this right leg. Transfer the belt into your right hand, and this bottom foot, see if you can turn the bottom foot all the way. Good. Push that right heel in. Now you could put your left hand on your hip and gaze out over that left shoulder. Last one of these, we're going to turn back towards the wall. Turn the foot again, turn the toes towards the wall. Hold on to your belt, inhale, look up. And exhale, pull on the belt to get your belt on your thigh. And then inhale, come out of the pose, and on the exhale, go a little deeper. Inhale, come out of the pose, pull on that belt. Exhale, get a little deeper, and you might even drop your head. And that's it. Come back out, release that leg and stand. Now you might notice one side feels longer than the other. So let's do the left leg now. Take deep breaths as we go, taking that left foot in the belt, take the left foot up on the wall. And then make sure that you feel steady in the standing leg. That right foot should be right underneath the right hip. No big slant in that bottom leg. Stay tall and just push that left heel into the wall. Push the left heel in. Now remember, if I went higher, that's going to slant my bottom leg. So if you're going to do that, then step closer. I'm going to transfer my belt into the right hand. And I'm going to take my left thumb and put it on the top of that left femur. And remind her to drop down towards the floor. Drop it down to the floor. Lift and twist and turn that left shoulder into the room. And if you feel steady there, you could even take that left arm out into the room. But if you're going to do that, you want to really make sure you're standing on the wall. Push that left foot into the wall. Good. And release. Now we're going to transfer the belt into the right hand. Turn the feet, turn the standing foot. Right hand on right hip. Good. And again, you could take the arm out into the room if you wanted to make a pretty picture. Last one, we'll turn that foot back in. And now we make it into a forward fold. So you want to make sure that foot is right under the hip. All toes pointing towards the wall. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, walk your hands down the belt. Get belly-thigh contact. Inhale, come out. And exhale, go deeper. Inhale, lift up a little bit. Exhale, go deeper. See where you can get to here. Laying on the leg, maybe dropping your head. Listening to the song of the hamstring. And then slowly release. We drop our belt off there to the side. And we're going back to our mat. And if you take your mat wide waist, now the hamstrings are lovely and warm. And they're ready for these few standing poses. Good. Okay, we have to go nice and lifty here because we're trying to keep our video short. So stand in the center of the mat, Maybe hands together in front of the heart, bend the knees, inhale, exhale, jumper step. Hands on the hips. We're going to turn both feet to the right. Now this back leg needs to turn dramatically. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, start to come forward and down over that right leg. Forward and down. Now if you were one of those rich yogis and you had 2 blocks, this is what you would do. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, turn the blocks down. Notice where my belly is starting to connect here with the upper thigh. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, turn the block down. If you didn't have a block at all, then you'd be starting here. And this is ground 2. To get deeper, you would walk that front foot now, your right foot, towards the front of the mat without disturbing the hips. Inhale up once, exhale, lay down. Maybe turn your head to gaze at your knee. Turn the fingers away from that foot. You could play with that, trying to take the fingers out in front of the foot. Good. And then to come out, if you use the blocks to go in, you're going to use them to come out. Start at the lowest point. Inhale, lift. Turn the blocks up. Lift. Turn the blocks up again. Press into the blocks. Lift. Good. And now we don't want to come all the way out. All we want to do is turn, turn, turn. Turn to the center and turn your toes towards each other. And see if you can get your hands in here on the floor. Or you could bring a block. So you might be here. But our goal is to stretch the back of the legs so much that we allow ourselves into this little space here. So to get in there, you want to bend your elbows underneath, round back, and lengthen the legs. Keep the knees straight. And feels so good to the back of the legs, doesn't it? Sit there. We're going to come back up a little bit. If you need to step your feet closer, we're not coming up, we're just turning over that left side. So we're going to turn the left leg. Now dramatically lift the back foot and turn that with you. So already we're almost in the pose. If you need your blocks, you're going to bring them in, turn them down with each breath. Otherwise, we inhale, lift, and exhale, go deeper. So remember that little trick. Inhale, come out of the pose a wee bit. Exhale, go deeper into the pose. And you can do that as many times as you need to. Laying down on the leg, turning maybe the fingers away from the foot, or try taking the fingers out in front of the foot. But the secret to getting a good hamstring stretch is not to bend the knee. And walk the hands back in. We turn the toes back towards each other. Come to the center. See if you can get deeper into that little pose. Take a few breaths there. And then take your hands to your hips. And inhale, come back up. And step the feet together. Good. One last pause. We have to do our forward fold. So step your feet back to the back edge of the mat, hands on the hips. Walk your hands up to the back ribs. So you're going to lift that upper body off the lower body. Just do a little back bend first. And then exhale, forward and down. Reach the hands to the floor. Where do you get to? You get your fingertips on the ground. If you can, it's okay if you need to bend your knees. What you're going to do is drag the mat towards the back part. Take the armpit chest forward. And then work on straightening the knee. Belly on the thigh. So of course hamstrings and forward folds are buddies. You might notice the more you do your forward folds, the more your hamstrings start to stretch. Long deep breaths. Now line your fingertips up with your toes. Inhale, lift, come out of the pose. Exhale, go deeper. Inhale, lift, come out. Exhale, go deeper. And then wherever you got to is fine. Drop your head. And breathe. And communicate with the back of your legs. Let the back of your legs tell you their story. They're sad they've been stuck in a chair or a couch too long. And then release. We're going to bend the knees real deep. We're coming back up. Let it be a journey. Let it be a journey as though you were like a helium balloon, filling up from the feet all the way up. Roll the shoulders around and stand. Good. So hopefully your legs, your hamstrings are happy now, and you'll go climbing the hills and be swimming in the ocean. Use those legs. Namaste. Thank you for joining us.